The Spanish word gansito means little goose, but is better known as a popular snack cake featuring a hilarious clothed goose on the package. The Gansito's goose first appearance came in 1957, and while his appearance has changed over the years, his catchphrase, Acuérdame, or Remember Me, has stayed the same. Don't worry, little goose. We won't forget you. All that we ask is that you remember our catchphrase. You tried that? You tried that. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock,
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Dr. Magoose.
I didn't know that was a goose. I got these thinking this is a hilarious duck, and now you tell me it's a goose. My world is shook.
Uh-huh. Did you know his catchphrase was Remember Me?
I did know that, yes.
That's a weird catchphrase for like a confectionery ad. Remember me. What?
Yeah, is he like Kenny from South Park where the goose dies in all the commercials or something? And Remember me.
He doesn't look like a goose. Does he look like a goose to you?
I mean, he may or may not. It never actually said this is a goose, but when I was reading about it, Gansito does mean little goose. So I do assume that they wouldn't call it little goose and then put a duck on there.
But what is a duck but a little goose, if you think about it, really? It is very funny, though. I recommend that all our listeners either check out our Instagram or just Google this fucking snack, because this duck goose looks really funny and has got just a great outfit, like a plaid shirt.
He definitely is dressed like a 10-year-old on his first day of like 5th grade or something.
Yeah.
He's got like the plaid shirt and the jeans and like the Converse high tops. Real excited.
He's cool.
He's a cool dude.
Very cool. Yeah.
Well, I recently at work they were trying to teach us about not getting goosed on the internet. So
did they use the German Sherlock Holmes to do this?
Yeah.
Now my job is not use computers as much as you guys do at your work. So you may have been aware of more of this cybersecurity terms than I was, because there's just not a great chance that I'm going to have to need it. And they're teaching people about cybersecurity who aren't tech people.
Yeah.
And so it's like the very most basic ideas.
Jack the Ripper is not a technology term. You should know that one anyway.
So it was one we were just supposed to watch on our own. So I did the old push play, walk away and do actual work.
Of course.
And then come back and flip it when it needs to be flipped. But then those things always have a quiz at the end.
Yeah.
When you have to answer questions.
Uh-oh.
And so, right. Usually they're common sense. So one of the questions is, what, you get an email from blah, blah, blah. Which one of these was it? And I had never heard these other terms. One of the choices was phishing, which I know with PH, but then it was vishing, smishing, and spearfishing. I was like, what in the fuck?
Vishing?
Do you know what those things mean?
Aren't they just made up? Like they just made it?
They're real. They are real. So
All
it's
four
not
of those
just
are
me.
actual things?
Yes.
I mean, I know spearfishing is a real thing because it's the coolest way to fish, if you ask me.
Spearfishing, some other like specifically targeted form of fishing, but smishing is a text attack.
Oh, like SMS phishing.
SMS.
Okay. Right. And then vishing, I think it was like a video. Maybe it was I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. But they all are actual things. So I thought maybe I just didn't know that. And then it asks, if you suspect that you've been phished through an email, which of these should you do? And one of them's like alert, the IT department. One is rip the cord out as quick as possible. The power cord.
Someone's been watching the net or something.
I mean, that can't hurt. It can't hurt.
Quick, the information's going into the wall. Just beat it there.
If you grab the cord and like kink it, it's like a hose. Like it can't get through.
Make sure when you rip, pull out maximum plaster from the wall, like the whole electrical box if you can.
And then the next choice, like C, was call 911.
Call 911, leave them a vish.
What's your emergency? I've been smashed. Violently smashed.
Well,
What?
I guess this does explain a lot, because I did get a text message earlier today, and the only text was just "remember me." So I guess I was getting smashed by the goose.
Remember me by sending some money to this account right here.
Yeah.
Another one of the questions was, if you find a USB on the ground, what should you do?
Rip it out of the wall.
Call 911.
Like a thumb drive is what I mean. So you find a thumb. You're walking down the street and you find a thumb drive.
Yeah.
What should you do? Really, the only choices should be 1, walk away. 2, anything else. Like anything other than continue walking. One of them was immediately plug it into your computer.
Pick up some dirty, blow it off, stick it in your USB.
Rub it all over your body. They didn't have an option like get out your lighter fluid, pour it all over the USB, light it on fire. That's what I usually
alert
do.
the National Guard, create a perimeter around it so no one can get near it.
Melt it down for the precious metals.
Do you guys have to? Do you do trainings like that at work? Are they more because you deal with computers more? Are they more serious about it, or is it the same garbage?
It's weird. We have so many of those trainings. I probably get 15, 16 trainings like that a year. They're not always about like, cyber security stuff. Sometimes they're about like, hey, don't grope your coworkers, stuff like that.
It's called smashing.
Yeah. Sometimes they're about like don't improperly bribe government officials or shit like that. But it's interesting because you can always tell like whether the more tech savvy teams have put the training together. Because like sometimes they'll be like you said, where you can just hit play, like switch to another tab and like do other stuff. But definitely there are some where if you switch to another tab, the timer stops. And like you have to, or if your computer falls asleep, the timer stops. So you have to like move the mouse, like every couple seconds or whatever. And then there was one where I like finished the training in, 15 minutes. And then there was a message that says, you are legally required to spend 45 minutes on this training. And I just had to sit there while a timer counted down for 30 minutes until I could like check the box that I wasn't going to smush my coworkers or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's less to do with our jobs and more just that we work at more corporate places, because it's the same thing. It's a lot of there is a lot of phishing and stuff, or like it's like beyond phishing. It's like it's smishing, it's vishing, it's knishing. There's one commishing where you have to watch the entire series of the commish. Mm-hmm. No, but it's more like don't like write your password on a piece of paper, like don't let people into the building without an ID, like stuff like that. And then there's a lot of, like Chad said, like harassment. There's a lot of bribery ones about like, and it's stupid because they're almost always very obvious. The answer, like you don't have to. It's always like the options are: should you agree to buy 1,000 shares of somebody's company in order to land a deal? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Things like that. And it's also stuff that doesn't ever apply to my job. It's not like I'm on the front lines making big deals. I'm just in the back doing dumb shit.
Which kind of thumb drives do they say you should pick up? Because there's only certain ones you should.
Only if it's modeled to look like an actual thumb. Then it's okay.
They told us to look out for the ones with like a skull and crossbones on it. But other than that, you can just pick up
the ones that say virus.com right on the front. Don't pick up those ones.
Do not touch. And then you plug it in and a thing comes up that says, this means you. And then you hit another button and says, seriously, don't do this. Don't do that.
Smash, you are on the wrong path.
I remember I took like a mandatory sexual harassment training. This was maybe like 10 years ago. And a guy was in there. He was trying to like, he knew that like, it's obviously a very important topic, right? But he also knew that like
he knew he was going to harass people no matter what.
Well, I'm talking about the presenter. He knew,
Oh, it was an in-person thing?
Yeah. So it was an in-person thing.
Awkward.
There's like 100. Yeah. So there's like 200 people in this room, and there's this guy up there presenting, and he's trying to make it as interesting as possible so that people don't tune out, right? Because it's a very important topic.
Mm-hmm.
So he's up there, and I remember distinctly at one point he asked, like, what do you think is the most litigated bodily movement out there, right? Like, so the kind of like a gesture, a hand gesture specifically, that you could do that is the most litigated one in sexual harassment, like leads to the most suits.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hey, let us guess.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm going to say shoulder massage. You come up to someone at their desk and say, oh, you feel tense.
Okay, I was going to say that, so I'll say, like, putting your hand on their leg if you're sitting next to them. Like,
oh, okay. So he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't implying specifically physical contact, or maybe
just jerking off. Maybe
so
just jerking off.
Okay. So one of the guys, this neckbeard guy, stands up and he's like, "Is it this?" And he does the jerk off motion with his hands in front of this room of like 200 people. Like the guys. And actually, it was not that. It was like putting two hands out and squeezing like you're honking a pair of breasts. You know what I mean?
Do that?
Apparently. I was like, I could never imagine in my life doing that outside of work, except I guess I just did it to demo it to you guys. But otherwise, like, I couldn't believe that people actually did that at work.
Just over Novak's shoulder, that guy's going to pop in the screen and be like, you didn't learn.
Yeah, that guy doesn't have to tell me, remember me. Pretty sure I'm going to know who did that.
Yeah. We took a sexual harassment training that was like, it was all over, like, it was like videos and snippets and stuff, but like the exam, they would do like an example bad behavior, and they were actually like more offensive than anything like we were learning about. It was like, it'd be a video of like a woman standing there with a low cut dress, and a guy walks up and like stares right at her chest. It's like, I love your shirt, Kathy. And I was like, this is,
whoa,
that's pretty hurt. Like, I started jacking off to it. I got arrested and thrown out. No, but yeah, we've done some of that. Those are always kind of weird and awkward, but yeah.
They give the whole building the same ones. And I remember on certain things like bloodborne pathogen ones, people are like, hey, what are the answers? Because they didn't want to pay attention. And they're like didn't want to remember the difference between Hep A and Hep B or whatever. So,
sure.
But then there's this one guy, dude, is like, give me the answers to the sexual harassment one.
Don't grope is the answer to one.
I think I'll have to let you do that on your own.
Do you just turn to him and go, here's the answers, and just the jack off motion right in his face?
Yeah. You turn around and he's just honking boobs left and right. Just give me the answers. He's like shouting over his shoulder.
Oh, well, no more honking boobs, I guess.
Yeah. Got to stop right now.
Right.
Some honking geese, though.
All right, let's get to these snacks. We're going to smish these things into our mouth. We've got 3 snacks. We rate them on a 5-point scale. Love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. And we've been talking about the little goose. Let's start with him. Gansito Filled Snack Cake. The company is Marinella, and they're 2 pretty sizable snack cakes. They're I'd say they're almost exactly Twinkie sized, and they're individually
Didn't
wrapped.
realize they'd be individually wrapped inside the container. Oops.
This thing is like a size of a pack of ramen.
The cross section on the front shows that it is like a cake for like 3/4 of it. Then it looks like maybe a layer of some kind of either strawberry or raspberry jelly, then some white cream, and then the whole thing coated in chocolate. And there's even like little chocolate nibs on the, like, sprinkled on the top of it.
Yeah.
Not actually very much jelly in mine. I don't know about you guys. It's like,
no, very little actually.
This thing killed the environment by itself. How much fucking packaging do they need?
There's so much, like the whole, like you said, the only top quarter of it is cream. But on mine, at least, the cream's like spilling all out the top of the entire cake.
I can barely see any cream. It's like all cake. As we all hold it up to a camera, the listeners can't see.
The ratio on the packaging is just a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
This is 90% cake, 2% jelly, whatever other percent cream. 8.
We got smashed.
I'm trying to actually tell what flavor the jam is, but there's so little of it.
I don't know. I think it's probably like cherry or something.
Does it say on the back?
Or just like a generic strawberry jam.
The ingredients list is like a mile fucking long.
It is a fucking mile
long. It's all
long.
chemicals, too.
There's got to be 200 ingredients in this thing.
Anytime you're reading and you see locust bean gum, you know you're in some dicey territory.
All right, Gagger, what do you think of Gansito Filled Snack Cake?
Gansito, this mutant science-filled snack. I had high hopes for this. It looks good. Like we've had some of these. Well, we've had some of these snack cakes that have like the raspberry filling with the chocolate, and they've been kind of good, I thought. Or like the Ocho bar, I really liked a lot. And this fails on every level. Now, mine got pretty melty and smushy in the package, but the ratio is fucked. Like it's like a thin layer of chocolate, a lot of like just sponge cake. The nibs add a little bit, and then there's a little light like smear of marshmallow / jelly on top. So this isn't good.
I did honk yours like a couple of boobs before I
you honked it?
Delivered to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that adds up now.
I hished them.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Wait. Hishing and vishing were like trying to get your information through various forms of communication. So does that mean like you're honking someone's boobs to try to steal their credit card number?
That's right.
Like that? Wink once if it starts with 2.
Give me the digits. Honk, honk, honk.
One of them was something like, watch out for shoulder pirates. And it was like people like creeping over your shoulder.
Shoulder pirates. They're really making this like the dumbest possible thing for all you guys. Like, talking to an 8-year-old. A shoulder pirate is just someone looking over your shoulder.
I think actually the term might have been shoulder surfing.
Oh,
I like shoulder pirate better, to be honest.
But there was a pirate who said it. A guy dressed as pirate.
Yar, what's your URL? URL doesn't take
URL.
Yeah, I'm trying to get your booty, and I'm not talking about your butt. I'm talking about the money.
I did take the sexual harassment training, but I am a cyber pirate. This thing's bad. It's a dislike that. I don't like this that much.
Chad?
Unlike Geiger, I did not have high hopes for this. I know we said we were going to like try better stuff, but I bought this solely because the goose looks very funny, but also I had no expectations that this would be good at all. These Twinkie style cakes, I pretty much never like these kinds of things. I didn't see why this would be any exception. Maybe if the cream was a little bit better and there was more of it and more of the jelly, perhaps. This sponge cake is awful. It tastes like an actual sponge. The chocolate is whatever, and there's so little cream and stuff that it just tastes like a little added sugar to this thing. Doesn't really work on any level. This is a pretty strong dislike that for me.
Oh, okay. Well,
tell us why you love it, Novak.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
There's enough processed chemicals in here to make you love it.
Yep.
The handy snacks
now,
of
this
sweet
would
trees.
be a love dad with an additional 50 chemicals.
When I see this list of chemicals, I'm like, whoa, ho, ho, blow me down. But again, just talking about being overwhelmed by the idea, not sexual.
Not a goose sucking you off. Yeah, we got that.
No.
Ooh,
Right.
That'd be painful.
So this is sort of right up my alley. It's like a lot of things I like. What keeps it from a love for me is that
Is the fact it tastes like shit?
is that I don't think the jelly's helping it. And I do agree. I've really liked the jelly in a lot of the products we've had. I think if it was just the cream and the chocolate and cake, I would love it.
Wow.
But I'm going.
Wow.
Love it.
Wow.
I know. But
Love it.
You're
really
such a
like
garbage
these. And
human.
Holy shit.
But I'm going to downgrade
Is
it
a
to
cyber pirate
like
holding
that.
your bank account ransom if you don't like these things? You could just blink into the camera, Novak, if you're okay.
Oh, well, shiver me timbers, I like this thing. So I'm going to give
Well,
it
I
a like.
hope you remember it.
Oh, I will.
Man.
I probably wouldn't buy it because I just don't. I think like when we had the Swiss cake rolls, I think that's like a better version of this.
Mhm.
So I'd probably reach for that. But I still think it's pretty good. So I'm not ashamed.
All
right. Let's go next to Chad. You got to tell us because we just have the baggie.
This is Sandia Sangoronas, Micheladas Elgordo. Anyways, another very funny mascot on the front. This time it's like just a dude holding up a beer, maybe? I'm not sure. But these are... Is
it sangria?
It's some kind of watermelon snack, because there are watermelons on the front. It is red, like a red gummy square. I have no idea. It's covered in a powder, so I don't know if it's supposed to be sweet or spicy.
I have a feeling it's going to be spicy. They're kind of wedge shaped. Holy fuck.
Oh, there's the spice. That comes in late.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Oh. Why am I eating a second one?
Oh.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay. So like I said, I couldn't really tell if these were spicy or not when I bought them. I thought they had a chance to be pretty good if they were like watermelon gummies or something. They're pretty spicy.
Okay. So, Chad, what do you think? I got nothing to say.
Okay. Chad.
Upon first bite, before the spice kicked in, I'm like, it's okay, right? Because like as far as a gummy goes, like it's a pretty good consistency, good size, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get just a little bit watermelon flavor at the beginning. So I was gonna say like, oh, this could use some more watermelon. Then the spice kicks in, and it is a revolting spice. And I know I hate spice, so I'm not an impartial person to make judgments about that. But it really is off-putting to me in every single way. This thing is disgusting. I'm gonna give it a hate that.
Okay. This kind of spice doesn't belong on a sweet gummy candy, right? It's like something that would be on a chip.
Yeah.
And they put it on a candy, which doesn't make sense. And it takes away from what I think might be a decent flavor gummy underneath. When I get a little bit of it, it's not an off-putting flavor. So if it's watermelon or something, that could be good. But it really ruins it. I do not want to put another one of these things in my mouth.
Did you only eat one?
I had one. How many did you guys have?
Dose.
I went for a second just to be sure that it was gross.
Yeah, I don't need to. The only question is, are there people who like these? The answer is no. So I'm going to give it a second hate that, and we are on the precipice of a flaming bag. Geiger.
I mean, I do like spicy food, and these things are shitty as hell. It's like, the spice is like almost gives it like you get that bile aftertaste in your mouth. It's like at the back of your throat, kind of gross. I just puked in my mouth kind of thing. These are bad. Like you said, fine. Points for consistency. They're consistent. Like the consistency is nice. It's a soft chew of a gummy. But the spice is terrible, and it also doesn't help that they caked it on like it's almost like covered like rock salt or something on the outside. It's like crunchy too, which is gross. So you can fire these straight into the fucking sun. These are terrible. I hate that.
Oof. A flaming bag, first of the year.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so much for our New Year's resolution.
Yeah. Gansito's sitting pretty there, but there is a delicious looking s'more snack on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if the goose will be cooked later. But time for the segment. This is a returning segment called YTD Worst Jobs, where I give you two sets of jobs, and you tell me which you would rather do, right? Two jobs that are pretty undesirable, and there's 6 pairings here. So I'm going to read them off, and then we'll see which is more desirable. So first is called a face feeler. This is a person who detests beauty products, applies them to people's face, and then as they sit, you feel their face or hands or any part of them for sensory purposes. And you do it for people who have different types of skin, so you can see how you're comparing it to each one. So you're sitting around touching people's faces and things.
Okay.
All right. Versus line stander. Somebody pays you when they want to stand in a long line. like they're waiting for tickets or something. I know, a lot of that's probably available online online these days, but there must still be lines to be stood in because this is a job. And then you just stand there, and then either the person shows up when it's time to get to the front of the line. So pretty easy, nothing too bad of these first two. Chad, what do you think? You face feeler or line stander?
I actually knew somebody, now that you mention it, I knew somebody that like this was a while ago, wanted to get reservations at this hard to get reservations for restaurant here in San Francisco. And you had to like wait in line like couple hours on like, whatever day to get a reservation 2 months from now. And they like paid somebody to wait in line for them until it was their turn and then like showed up. But they got the reservation, so good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's, I think that sounds better. I don't really want to touch people's faces that I like know and like usually. Unless I'm honking their face, but otherwise, no. And I don't care about makeup. I don't like know anything about it really. So, at least with the line stander, I could just like be on my phone the whole time.
All about standing in lines. Though. You have a lot of knowledge. You're prepared.
Yeah. So I think that'd be my choice.
You agree, Geiger?
Not at all. Look, first of all, standing in line is like the most obnoxious thing someone can do. It's like one of my least favorite tasks is have to stand in a line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think also, like, I don't know, if I was like waiting in line forever and then the guy in front of me got out and someone else came in, I'd be a little annoyed. Not necessarily, I guess, at the person who did it, but it's kind of like feels like a karmically bad type of thing to do, even though you're getting paid. Whereas the other guy, hey, let's be honest, you just said you feel their face and other body part. You can sneak in a few free hunks, fellas. And that's part of your job, right? So
I'm sure the face feelers day one is a lot of sexual harassment video.
Yeah, I think maybe you were the person on face feeler asking, "Hey, give me the answers. Give me the answers."
But yeah, no, I think that way it's awkward because it's strangers, but obviously you're just like probably like touching their arm or their face. It's not a big deal. I like Chad, I wouldn't know what to look for, but I assume it's easily trainable. It's just
they volunteered for it. It's not like you're
like I'm not
surprising
like
them.
Dermatologist or something. Yeah, right. It's not like they don't know I'm not going to come over and feel that face. So
you're not some like creep like a dermatologist.
Professional perv dermatologist. I would go face feeler for them.
Wow, they're split. To break that tie, I probably would. I actually would be the face feeler too.
Yeah, waiting in line's terrible.
I would be so embarrassed when somebody came. I mean, you're better as the guy who gets to leave the line and just start sprinting away while everyone's yelling.
Yeah, who cares?
All right, next one, a golf ball diver. So, of course, there's this. I'm not talking about like small ponds on a golf course, but apparently there are driving ranges and things in Hawaii where you can drive into the ocean, but the golf balls are bad for the environment. So they still pay people to go diving for these golf balls. So you go diving around the whole day collecting golf balls. Or another water profession, professional merman. At kids' parties, they would hire you like they would a clown, and it would be like a pool party. You would be wearing like a fish bottom, and you would be the merman, and presumably there'd be a mermaid there too, because I don't know who the hell is just hiring just a mermaid. hey kids.
I did. It's like some like single dad trying to give his daughter like a Little Mermaid party and hired the dude and said, it's King Triton, I guess, just hanging out. Laying there
I show up with my lumpy muffin top shirtless body. Hey kids, I'm a merman.
I feel like if you're
got any Bud Light,
a woman, if you're a mermaid, you can get away with more body types. And if you're a merman, you got to be toned.
You got to re-rep. No,
you can't be hairy.
Fat merman over there.
Hey, Ralph Merman. Thanks.
Merman.
Hey kids, check out my treasure trail to the scales.
So, Geiger, which one?
So, well, I mean, this is not even close. I mean, what? So I get to take leisurely dives in the ocean, go underwater, get to swim all day and just collect balls, or I gotta
diving the whole day. It's not like a fun swim.
Sure, but you're like swimming underwater and you're diving and you get to like see underwater. Like you get to work at your own pace, pick up golf balls, or you get to like hang out in some shithead's backyard pool while kids throw Doritos at you or something, and you're all like, and I got to be ripped. You're good, so I have to exercise for the right to be demeaned by some rich asshole, so I can put on like a fish tail and lay around in a pool.
Demean you? They hired you to demean you.
Well, isn't it sort of demeaning to show up at a kid's birthday party? You have to pretend to be a merman. I mean, isn't that a little weird?
All right, kids, I got the jar of pennies. Everyone grab a few and whip them at the merman.
Is there at least going to be another guy at the party who's playing Captain Phillips and I can rescue him or no?
Like, they walk in, they're just handing out Sharpies to kids. Like, all right, go draw penises on the merman's face.
So, yeah, no, it's golf ball all the way.
Dad, can I do whatever the fuck you want to the merman? He's making $8.50 an hour.
You want to honk his man boobs? Honk away.
Yeah, it's basically if you get hired for a party, you're their indentured servants for the length of the party, right?
Right.
They're allowed to do whatever they want.
I agree with Geiger. This is very easy. I would pick merman. I think it's no contest merman. First of all, I like swimming a lot and I like snorkeling, but I don't like swimming underwater, especially probably there's like deep levels you have to go to. You have to wear like a scuba pack, have scuba training, right? And it's like, if you like scuba, I know that scuba diving is one of those things where like, if you fuck it up, like you come up a little too quickly or whatever, like you can die like really easily.
There's gotta be someone with you. They're not just sending you off to go get a fucking golf ball in the Mariana Trench. They're not like that deep. You just dive down 10 feet and scoop up a ball. You're worried about dying?
Go fetch these golf balls out of the mouth of the Meg.
She had 40,000 leagues into the sea finding some douchebag's Titleist.
Yeah, you got to contend with giant octopuses and stuff who also
can't go any deeper. The pressure's too high. Get the fucking golf balls.
Oh, sir, the Kraken is hoarding the golf club. I said go get them.
I think the merman could be kind of fun, right? Like, you know, like kids can be shitty, but kids are also like fun. And if you make like a game out of it and stuff like that, I think that could be fun. So give me the merman.
Yeah, I'm taking merman too.
Hell yeah.
Fortunately.
Oh, fucking you guys.
I think it's a little more relaxing. What, you swim around a little bit?
Maybe you get a piece of cake at the end, you know?
It's all fun until they play pin the tail on the merman and you're getting...
Merman, just put some pizza left. You want a slice? I could. Well, okay, yeah.
I mean, I really shouldn't. I got to watch this figure. But
all right. Competition 3. The pet food taster. So there are humans who have to eat the pet food, right? To see how it tastes.
What?
So Geiger, you have the closest thing to that of eating the potted meat.
Oh my God, I do?
Versus the hippotherapist, which is not a therapist to hippos, but it is that you are a therapist using treatment with the help of a horse. All right. So you'd be using the therapeutic benefits of horses and their movements to help human patients to overcome. All right. So you're either using this horse as therapy. Now I'm saying you get no training, no training for these. You go do these tomorrow, or you eat the pet food. Chad.
I have eaten pet food before, like out of curiosity. I've tried my dog's foods a couple times. It's pretty nasty. Only tried dry food. I never tried wet food. I assume this job expects you to try wet food, which sounds absolutely revolting to me. You know, I've heard of similar things like with the dog therapy, right? Where they take like dogs around hospitals or whatever and like helps make people feel better. I imagine this is kind of similar, except you probably don't have a horse like clomping into the ER or whatever. Like it's probably more like people come to you.
Ripping cords out of the wall.
Well, for cybersecurity?
Yeah, that horse thinks the computer has a virus. Clop, clop, clop. Just smashing all the equipment.
It's my first day. He's just running through the halls.
Giant horseshoes honking all the boobs. He hasn't taken the training yet.
All the boobs.
All the boobs. You know those horse hooves, perfect for honking.
And like I like horses. Horses are pretty cool. So that's easy. I'll take the horse one.
Okay, you agree?
I mean, I don't know, like, in what context is the horse making you feel better? Are they like, am I putting someone on a horse and letting them ride? Or is it just like, hey, pet the horse? That'll cheer
I'm
you
really
up.
sick. Well, get on up there. You slap the horse in the ass.
Look, nothing makes somebody feel better than a horseshoe right to their chest, you know? So that's...
All right, they're paralyzed from the waist down. Oh, shit, shouldn't have put him on that horse.
I assume it says, like, it just says the benefits of horses and their movement to help humans.
Yeah, that's...
I guess petting them? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, petting them, or just like
them.
a gentle trot around a field or something like
Feeding
that.
them
It can be
apples or
relaxing,
something.
right? Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to come up with a reason not to pick horse, but I always come back to the alternative is eating wet dog food, which there's no amount of money on earth you could pay me to eat pet food. So, one of my jobs as a kid growing up was to feed our cat. And our cat, like, had some shit going on in its body or something. So we had to get it, like, special dietary, like, wet food. And you just open the can and it's like the nastiest smell you've ever smelled. And then it just makes this wet slump out of the thing.
Right.
I would throw up at the thought of trying to eat it. So I guess I'll have to saddle up that cyber horse and go save the world.
I'll take the horse too.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be like, if you get that job, Geiger, I'll be an actor of like stagecoach robber.
Oh,
and
nice.
People come and they're like, "Get on up, let's get that robber off the stagecoach," and then you guys just chase me down.
So basically, our
cool.
therapy is just like a mini version of Westworld now.
All right,
let's shoot him right in the head. What?
Chicken sexer. And that is
left turn. You could have warned us a little bit first.
The chicks are born. Mm-hmm. Someone's job to just pick them up, turn them over, see if they're male or female.
Right.
Fuck them. Turn them over, spread them legs,
honk that cloaca.
You're choking the chicken already.
Versus snake milker. And it says, snake venom is required to produce anti-venom, and the best milkers pride themselves on capturing the snakes by hand to minimize their stress. It says this one guy who does it, Jim Harrison, milks up to 1,000 snakes a week at the Kentucky Zoo and has been seriously bitten just 8 times in his 50-year career. That's all.
Oh, well, you know.
Ooh, boy.
I only had to be revived from death 8 times. No big deal. All right, versus the chicken sexer. And Geiger, you're up first.
Yeah, I mean, if the option is risk getting horribly mutilated and potentially die by a snake, or like look for a chicken's dong, I'll hunt for that chicken dong. I mean, it's not that hard. I'm sure you by now you get used to, you just turn it over,
right?
You know, blow away the feathers or whatever, and like, oh, there's the dick. So
just like cooling down a cup of hot chocolate. Just
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're going to be a much more exciting party guest as snake milker.
Will I?
Yeah, no one wants to hear about your job of turning chickens over.
Is that enough to make Geiger exciting at a party? Is it really?
Yeah, no. Wait, it's not like I'm bringing the snake to the party and milking it in front of them. I am? I'm not welcome in most people's houses then.
He has only been bitten 8 times, but the party guests at the parties he's attended to have been bitten hundreds of times. He's killed 3 mermen at parties.
So.
Chad, you taking chicken sexer?
Yeah, like baby chickens are cute, you know, and like
cloacas are beautiful.
Maybe you get to eat one every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
So yeah, I'll take that. And snakes, like I like snakes, but like I don't want anywhere near poisonous snakes. So
all right, the 2 left. This one you have to. This is the bro version. Which one of these bro type of jobs would you have to do?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Men's bathroom attendant, where you'd have to deal with a lot of bros. We've all known these people.
Yeah.
You stand in the bathroom, you hand them a paper towel, you spray on some cologne, and then you ask them for money. So that would suck. Versus keeper of the cup. Somebody has to follow around wherever the Stanley Cup is going and make sure that it is, kept in good standing. So, and if you know the Stanley Cup stories, it's just hanging around a bunch of drunks who want to drink from it.
You're supposed to stop like big ass hockey dudes who are drunk from like drinking out of the cup.
Well, I think they can, but I think you're supposed to probably stop all other crowds of big ass hockey fans. I think I'm going to let, the right winger drink out of the cup that he just won.
Donald Trump?
All right.
I figured you'd get it in a second.
It's Donald Trump winning the Stanley Cup. Can you imagine him skating around a ring, smashing into everything.
So, Chad, which would you take?
I always used to, like back when I was in my 20s and going to bars and stuff, I always used to really hate those bar bathroom attendants because it's like, I just want to fucking piss and dry my hands and I don't want to pay you $1 to do it or whatever. Now that I'm older, I actually feel like bad for them. You know what I mean? It's less like if I saw them now, I'd be like, here's $20 to hand me a paper towel because I feel bad that like this is your job. But I'd expect like 20 paper towels, and then can I bank these for future toilet visits? I don't have any change, but anyways, it seems like just such a shitty job to be like stuck in the bathroom just so that like the place can seem a little fancier. You know what I mean? Like it's a job that really shouldn't exist. Put like a robot guy in there to hand you the paper towels.
How does that solve anything?
You just smashed that was $2.
But at least, and the Stanley Cup one, like that would suck too, like being around all these drunk hockey fans and stuff. But I think at least like you'd get to like you have a bunch of fun stories about it, like from seeing all these like famous hockey players and stuff. So I'll take that one.
Kagan?
Yeah, there's no question. I get mad at that too, and like not mad at the attendant, but mad at like the fact that it exists. It's an entirely made up job that doesn't need to be. I've never been unable to wash my own hands, so like it's not. And then like I don't also know if they get paid other than just the tips, so it's like terrible of like yeah. Only through tips. Is that a better way? Look, he gave me 20 towels. I felt compelled.
I don't have any money on me. Just give me 5 minutes. Turn around.
Actually, now that you think about it, I might do that job. No, the Stanley Cup thing, like Chad said, you get to hang out with pro athletes and like crazy parties and, you know, like probably go to like a bunch of expensive, like fancy bars and restaurants because you're following this guys around and like it's kind of, I think hockey guys too.
You can't drink though. Like your job is.
I can't. You're not my mom. I can drink if I want to. No, you're right. I mean, that's fine, but you can be like tangential to the party. And then like a lot of these hockey guys seem kind of like funny, wild characters. Mm-hmm. Whereas the only funny, wild characters you're going to run into in the bathroom are, like you said, douchebags with like Dracar Noir and gelled up hair.
I mean, these two people are potentially working in the same building. They're just like working one door apart from each other.
Yeah, I suppose.
And one problem is that with the robot attendant is if the robot attendant breaks and they have to switch him with the like fishing robot who was yanking cords out of the wall to stop it, and he gets confused. It's not going to be a good scene there in the bathroom.
How about a game of just the bleep bleep bleep? That's what he says.
All right, he's robot attendant is a deviant sex robot.
Hasn't taken his sexual harassment training at all.
All right, last one. Just like in the last time we did this, the last one is these come from Craigslist. Okay, jobs that people need done.
All right. Is this one like collecting wood again, or what the fuck he's gonna do? All right.
They're not that bad. These are not dirty. All right. The first one is unqualified loader. And that's not what it named. There was no name to it. Right? They just needed help. The person says they were selected to be a temporary loader off of Craigslist ad. And when they showed up, the person gave them keys to a forklift and said to move a bunch of pallets and boxes from one building to another. They said they didn't know how to use the forklift. The person sighed and said, "Please try because nobody else does." So you have to move
Figure
a whole
out
bunch of
how to
boxes.
use a forklift is the
job. Smashing through walls and shit. Versus child scare. The posting is headlined, "Scare my child, will pay." Okay, so the person took the job, and here's what happened. So it turned out that the 9-year-old son was doing poorly in school, and the guy, this is a true story, and the guy didn't know how to get him studying. He took away his games, his phone, everything. So this person came before the kid got home from school, and the dad told him to hide behind the bed. All right, and as soon as the son came home and sat at his desk, the guy jumped up and yelled, "You better study."
How much does that pay?
I did not say how much it paid. So that's a pretty... I don't know how that's supposed to stop causing it to study. So you got child scare versus the forklift. Chad, which one do you think?
Oh boy, I think I've always kind of wanted to drive like a forklift, like any of those heavy equipment and stuff. Like I'd have no idea what I was doing. Like I'd just be pushing levers and probably like kill a couple people.
You could get hurt too.
Yeah, could for sure hurt myself. But I think that one sounds a lot more fun than making a kid shit their pants, and then that kid still doesn't study. So I'll take the forklift.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, we don't know the pays here, so maybe like the pay might swing.
They pay the same.
Okay, they pay the same. I somehow doubt that, but I guess I don't want to like. I would be more worried
about
just
a tip. That's your payment.
Study. No, hold on. We got a tip from your dad. I think I would be worried about showing up to any like warehouse or business that requires forklift use with an employer who is so cavalier about using the forklift, like clearly no like safety regulations or insurance or anything like that.
That's actually illegal, I think.
Yeah, you can't just hire people, like there's licenses, I think, to use forklifts and stuff. You can't just hire people off the street and ask them to figure it out on the fly. That guy sounds like I would be worried I wouldn't even be paid by someone like that.
Definitely legal to hire someone to scream at your kid, though.
Well, I was going to say, if there's one thing you can rely on for a clean, easy transaction, it's a guy who's willing to pay you to hide in his child's bedroom and scare the shit out of him. Those folks tend to be pretty well adjusted. So that would be weird. And I guess I would want proof or something that, like, I'd want like a written contract in case like the cops got wind and they wanted to know why I was hiding in a kid's bedroom or something. But I'd want like a notarized document saying that was the arrangement we agreed upon.
Written document.
Excuse me, good sir. Have your lawyer review this.
Behind the bed. Yes, right behind the bed. Scream at kid. Yes, just the tip. Got it.
Deliver a maximum 2 scares. Okay, clear. I also don't know how that would like equate to him doing algebra or something, but whatever. I'm not the guy's dad, so he knows him better than me. I will go with child scare. I could get down with that. I'll scare a kid.
Yeah, I think I'm going to probably still drive.
You could scare multiple kids with your forklift driving as you rage around town, like smashing through the...
The good thing about the child scare is that it's over pretty quick.
Probably forklift thing is too.
Yeah, when you flip the forklift. When you shove just the tip of the forklift into the side of someone's car.
All right, let's eat the s'mores. It's our last snack. So this is not like Chad, what's the story behind this?
The story is Dave texted me a picture of himself holding one of these cookies, my brother David, and he said, "You guys want some s'mores cookies for the pod?" I said, okay. He's like, I bought them and it was a 4-pack, but I only want one.
All right.
So then he dropped them in the mail, and here we are. But this is the brand is Love of Honey s'mores cookies. And so the front, it does say chocolate, honey marshmallows, and honey graham crackers. So I know, Geiger, you don't like honey, right?
I like it okay. I've been using it to cook more, so I just don't typically eat honey like, honey on toast or something.
But speaking of hockey, it is hockey puck sized, right? Except maybe thicker. I don't know how thick a hockey puck is actually, but
I don't know.
It is very thick, covered in chocolate.
The bottom layer. So when you look at the cross section, the bottom 50% is just a big old thick chocolate, hard chocolate. And the top half has like a cookie-ish, I suppose, a graham cracker type of cookie. And then there's like the honey is a very thin goo layer on top.
And there's a marshmallow cream running around the cookie.
Do you even taste the honey?
A little.
Yeah, I do. Now this thing, it doesn't taste bad because all these ingredients are good. And I actually kind of like how much chocolate there is because I think it's my favorite of the ingredients here. The marshmallow isn't amazing. Cookie's not amazing. It all tastes fine together. The biggest issue is that it doesn't taste all that s'mores-ish. Like the flavor, if I was just eating this blindfolded, I'm not sure, I could identify that's what the ingredients were supposed to be, but just the taste alone does not remind me of s'mores. So I'm really stretching on whether to give it an indifferent or a like, but I think I am going to slide it into a low level like that because I think the ingredients are pretty good. I think it's a decent attempt. It just needs to be tweaked. So I'm going to give it a low level like that. Geiger?
You're right. I think the chocolate's good. I think the cookie is just filler. It doesn't really taste like much. For a thing that's advertised so much to be about honey, and I think you said, Chad, right? It's from a honey company or something like that?
Love of Honey, I think, is the brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste that much like honey to me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, I don't love just unadulterated honey that much, but the marshmallow even is very thin. I think the proportions could be better. It doesn't seem like enough of a mix of things, which is probably leading to kind of the same point Novak made about it doesn't really taste that much like a s'more. It kind of tastes like a cookie covered in chocolate with a little bit of marshmallow in there. So that said, the chocolate is pretty good and nothing in it tastes bad. So I'll give it a low level like that as well, but probably not as good as it maybe could be.
All right. So it is likely to win this, but let's see what Chad thinks.
I think I'm right there with you guys. Look, I like this idea. I like where their head was at here. This is something that could be absolutely delicious. I think the problem is the cookie. The cookie tastes nothing like graham cracker. It's just like a generic shortbread cookie. And maybe it's just being overwhelmed by the flavor of the chocolate and the marshmallow and the honey and stuff. But it's barely there. And it's not nearly crunchy enough, right? Like when you eat a s'mores, that graham is supposed to be crunchy, right? It provides like the different texture consistency. This cookie is mushy AF. And right. It might as well not be there. I think the marshmallow and the chocolate is fine. I like the honey. Look, it tastes good, but it's not a s'mores thing. And it could be a lot better. So I'm right there, low level like that.
All right. Sort of a weak welcome visitor. Maybe someone you haven't seen in a while. You're like, I guess
I'll tolerate this person.
Say hi to that guy a little bit. Yeah.
Kid's upstairs. He's not starting. You know what to do.
What do you need him to do now? Let's take out the trash. If you could just scream it at him.
Should I hide in the trash? Well, see, that's kind of the problem. You probably won't get out there.
Look, he hasn't drawn any penises on the merman, so if you could go yell at him to do that, I'd appreciate it.
Kid's just so used to you being there. He just walks in. Oh, hey, Nick. He's just under the bed. Yep. Hey, what's up?
What'd I do now?
You picked up that USB drive. You shouldn't have, so pretend I screamed at you about it.
Yeah, viruses all over your dad's computer now. So
that's the story he's sticking with, at least.
So he paid me $5 extra to rip out all these cords. So I'll be on my way now.
He said to really loudly yell at you for putting all that porn on his computer. And he said something about making sure your mom heard.
Then suddenly you're ready to jump out. You're on your horse. Do your homework. All right, Geiger, where can listeners contact us?
If you want any of us to come over to your house and scream at your children, just let us know in advance what it is. It's $30 a scare, and plus I need to eat dinner. And if you've done any of those weird jobs, we'd like to know just how weird they are. How does cat food taste?
How many golf balls have you gotten out of the Marianas Trench? Let us know.
Right. Yeah. How many golf balls before the spirit of Blackbeard retook you? What are some crazy hockey stories? What are some crazy bathroom attendant stories? We want to know all of it. But also, if you'd like to suggest snacks, let us know what you thought of our reviews, things like that. You can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com, hashtag YouTriedThat on Twitter, You Tried Dat group on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're really anywhere that you listen to podcasts. If you could as well, if you like the podcast, let your friends know, let your family know, and leave us a review. Give us some stars. Anything to up that engagement would be appreciated. And as always, thanks for listening.
Okay, so let's say you're at the park. There's a lake nearby. And since I'm changing the scenario since we don't golf. All right. And you're using a Frisbee or something, and it goes into the water. How far into the water? You don't have swim trunks or anything, or you're just playing. How far is too far for you to go into the water to get that out?
Arm's length from the shore. I'm not getting wet.
This is like a calm lake, not like...
Right, yeah. It's like
you're not Frisbee golfing.
In the cauldron of Mount Doom, go get the Frisbee.
My precious Frisbee. I might be willing to take off my shoes and socks, hike up my pants a little bit, and take a few steps in to get it or something like that. Get like a long stick, try to pull it towards me. But only if like the lake looks like if it's like slimy or rocky at all, then like I'm probably not even going to bend over to pick it up. Like that Frisbee's gone.
Whatever doesn't get your clothes wet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Frisbee. It's not like it's an irreplaceable. I mean, if it's some sort of like antique Frisbee or something, maybe. But I mean, that's
the
object. This Frisbee dates back to my great grandfather. He played Frisbee while the Revolutionary War happened behind him.
Let's go toss it around.
He threw this to alert the rebels. Once if by Frisbee, two if by day.
Do I have my merman costume with me? I could just put that on and swim out. Go get it.
All right. Well, we've got one more week and then Candy Month coming up here. Some really, really tasty looking snacks on the dock. So make sure you're joining us to hear about those. That'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. Trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Yep.